In the 1760s, a wolf-like monster known as the Beast of Gevaudan reportedly killed hundreds of people in a gruesome fashion, and to this day, no one knows exactly what it was. Hey Wanderers! Welcome back to another Foolish Wanderers podcast, the podcast about anything and everything. Today, we're going to be taking a deep dive into the legend of the Beast of Gevaudan.
Alright, Katrina, do you know anything about the Beast of Gevaudan?
Not really, no. Just like the little bits, like pieces you've told me.
Okay.
But nothing much.
I've been excited for this episode for a
Ooh.
While. It's been on our list, I think, for, I don't know, since
It's
we
been a
started, maybe?
It's been, almost at the beginning, It's been a while.
So this is kind of like a freaky legend, maybe a bit of a fairy tale, nightmarish story.
But it actually, like, people actually
Died.
died?
Yep.
Oh.
But, I mean...
So it is real, but...
Yeah, it was real, but we don't really know what it was. I mean, it might have been, like, stretched a little bit, like when your grandpa catches a fish, and really the fish
Yeah.
was only, like, 5 feet, or not 5 feet, 5 inches long, and then he comes...
fish.
Yeah, and then after many years, the fish becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, so
Yeah.
the Beast of Gevaudan might be like that.
Okay.
Okay, so it was a man-eating animal or animals that terrorized the former province of Gévaudan. It's France, and it's
Okay.
in the... I'm gonna butcher this. I'm gonna Americanize these French words up. The Margeride... I'm gonna say Margeride Mountains.
Do you want me to look at the pronunciation
Yeah, let's
or
look
just
up the
go with it? Okay.
I'll say Margeride.
Margaride. It's like Margaride.
Margeride. All right, in the
Margeride.
Margeride Mountains of central France between 1764 and 1767. Okay, so this quote I found about Gévaudan is, it had the reputation for being a remote, isolated backwater where the forces of nature had not been fully tamed, where the forests were indeed enchanted, says J.M.
Ooh.
Smith, who is a historian and is the author of Monsters of the Gévaudan, The Making of a Beast. Quote, it's fascinating, it's powerful, it's scary, it's sublime.
All of the perfect ingredients for a
town.
monster
For a
mystery.
monster town. Okay, so the attacks, which covered an area spanning 90 to 80 kilometers, that is 56 by 50 miles,
That's pretty big.
It's pretty big. Were said to have been committed by one or more beasts with formidable teeth and a huge tail, according to eyewitnesses.
Yeah.
Victims were often killed by having their throats torn out.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Ew.
Throat
That
kill.
scares me.
Throat rip. Throat rips.
No. Okay.
The Kingdom of France used a considerable amount of money and manpower to hunt the animal or animals responsible, including the resources of several nobles, soldiers, royal huntsmen, and civilians. The number of victims differs according to the source. An 1987 study estimated that there had been 610 attacks, resulting in 500 deaths and 49 injuries. 98 of the victims killed were partially eaten. So parts. Other sources claim that the animal or animals killed between 60 to 100 adults and children and injured more than 30. The beast was reportedly killed several times before the attacks finally stopped.
So that's making me think that there's more than one. It's like they said that they killed it. Either that or like they just said that they did to like die down panic.
Yep.
And then they actually didn't. Okay.
All right. So on this next slide, we've got some drawings and an actual statue that they have around Gévaudan of a little girl stabbing the beast. Just think of it. I can't imagine what it smelled like, because my little 7-8 pound Pomeranian Inca smells awful. Her breath is the nastiest.
Oh no.
I call her Stinka instead of Inca.
Oh no.
It's nasty, so I can't imagine what the Beast of Gévaudan must have smelled like.
We should get her some of those like little dental chews.
Yeah, I need to get her those. But yeah, so here are just some little images, drawn illustrations of the Beast of Gévaudan. It kind of looks like an ugly, like, hyena pig.
Kind of like mixed with like a lion almost.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the size of a lion, but yeah, the face is very hyena pig.
Yep, hyena pig. Okay, and this next image was done in 1764. It's a illustration of the Beast of Gevaudan called "Picture of the Monster That is Desolating Gevaudan." That's what it says. The
It,
inscription in French. That's what it means. But I
okay.
thought this image looked exactly like my dog Inca.
It kind of
It looks like
does. It
Inca.
just
So that yeah. So a little Pomeranian was terrorizing south of France.
could you imagine? It's just like this little tiny Pomeranian just running through the woods.
Doing
It's
throat rips
like,
out of people.
you, you.
That'd be kind of funny, but also incredibly scary.
Oh
She'd
yeah.
fly at you like a flying squirrel, and then she makes like like
You have to grab your throat, run away.
ugh, throat rip
Yep.
and run away. Yep.
Gross.
Okay, so this is the first attacks. So the Beast
Okay.
of Gevaudan committed its first recorded attack in the early summer of 1764. Okay, a young woman named Marie Genet Vallée, that rhymed, who was tending cattle
Very
in the
much.
Macorais forest near the town of Langogne.
This is
How do
so
you say it?
bad.
In the town of Lasagna, in the eastern part. How the hell do you say that? We keep
Where
getting.
this?
I get like every other word. I'm like, butcher
Oh
this
my
now.
goodness.
Langogne, Langcome.
Lancome.
Lancome. That's French, right?
Langogne. Langogne.
Lagogne?
Yeah, Lagogne.
So did I have it
Yep.
right?
No.
Oh.
You're
You're
like,
trying to hide. You just
Langogne. Lagogne.
Lagogne? Okay. Here
That's
we
what it
go
says.
again. Take number 4.
Okay.
Hopefully I don't mess. I was horrible at that Simon Says like the bop it thing. Like I would forget.
Yeah.
Let's hope I
It
don't.
gets hard after a little bit,
Yeah,
yeah.
this is what it's like. Let's hope I don't forget how to say any of these damn words. All right, here we go. Take 4. A young woman named Marie Genet Vallée, who was tending cattle in the Macquarie forest near the town of Lagone. Shit. Katrina, you say it. How do we say that word?
Langon.
Lagone.
Langon. The
Lagone.
town of Langon. We apologize if we say these very badly. We are
I'm American.
Midwesterners, so
I'm
we
finished. I'm
apologize.
Finnish American. I don't know how to say these things. Lagogne in the eastern part of Gevaudan saw a beast, quote, like a wolf, yet not a wolf, end quote, come at her.
So like wolf
But
shape,
not a
but
wolf.
more yeah, like a not deer.
Ooh,
Ew.
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 However, the bulls in the herd charged the beast, keeping it at bay.
Oh.
They then drove it off after it attacked a second time.
It sounds like a wolf attacking sheep.
2
Yeah.
months later, at the end of June, something attacked and killed a 14-year-old girl named Janae Boulet while she was watching over her family's livestock.
Oh.
Yeah, it's
That's really
sad.
sad.
But I mean, it happened like hundreds of years ago, so I don't
I
feel that
know, but like
bad. She's dead already.
okay, moving on.
The villagers might have uneasily dismissed these incidents as par for the course, because sheep herding could be and is very dangerous work and attracts wolves, like you said.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
on August 8th, another girl was killed. With her last breath, she described the animal as, quote, a horrible beast.
Oh, so like there's people there with her and then it's like they must have like heard her or something
Mm-hmm.
scream and then
Ran and then saw her. Yeah, she died.
oh, that's horrible.
So throughout the remainder of 1764, more attacks were reported across the region. At the end of August, a young boy watching sheep disappeared, only to be
Oh,
found partially eaten. We don't know
no.
what part.
See, that freaks me out too. Like the idea of like going missing and then you just ugh,
Partially, yep.
gross, gross, gross.
And
No.
four kills in September convinced residents of Gevaudan that an evil creature lurked in their midst.
But yeah, I guess like if
Duh,
you're
yeah, that's
people keep
scary. And
disappearing,
coming back
like
partially eaten.
they're not coming back, but you
You
find
find
them.
them, and then you like put them
Yeah.
in a wagon and you bring them back to town, so they do come back.
Okay, you know.
This happened hundreds of years ago. We can make jokes.
I know. Too soon.
Too soon.
Too soon.
Pompeii. Yeah, so if we do a thing on,
Pompeii.
if we do an episode on Pompeii, I can't make jokes because you'll be like, too soon, too soon.
Too soon. Yeah.
Happened thousands of years ago. Too soon, too soon.
Too soon.
All right. So very soon, terror gripped the villagers because the beast was repeatedly preying on lone men, women, and children as they tended to livestock in the forests around Gevaudan.
So, like, did they ever hurt, like, the sheep or, like, livestock or anything, or was it just the people that they went after?
To my knowledge, it's just the people.
Oh, that's weird. Okay. Okay.
Reports note that the beast seemed only to target the victim's head or neck regions. So,
No. Yeah, like Predator.
mhm.
Like, yeah. Yep. Oh, gross.
'Cause I mean, yeah, that's what they do when the predator attacks its
Like a
prey.
wolf or a
Yep.
lion. Yeah.
Even
That's the
dogs,
most
even
vulnerable
little
part.
Inca, when I give her a little baby, she has, like, this little like, she's got a little, Yoda, the baby Yoda from The
Yeah.
Mandalorian, and she
Yeah.
goes after its neck when she's playing, like,
Ho
bites it, and then she whips it.
how does
And
she know where the neck is on a stuffed animal? That's
I think
interesting.
it's just, it's just imprinted in them. It's just instinct is to grab it by the neck
Interesting.
and then whip it around, or if you don't get it by the neck, you whip it to try and snap its neck.
Yeah,
And they
yeah, that's
like they
why
like this that squeaker noise because it
that's what I
sounds
was
like
gonna
an
say, yep.
animal dying.
Isn't I learned that recently, and I was like, "That is very
So every
disturbing.
time
I
she
don't like
squeaks,
that."
I'm like, "Oh, you nasty." I'm like, "Oh, she's a little
Nasty.
murderer.
Like, "Oh, how
How
cute."
cute."
Not
Yep,
really.
not really. Alright, back to the story. So the beast and its victims might have gone virtually unnoticed if not for the press, okay? The
Okay.
media, because
Yeah, okay.
political news was mostly censored by the king. So
Oh, okay.
newspapers had to turn to other sources of information, mostly entertainment, to
Mhm.
get subscriptions. Francois Morena, creator and editor of the Courrier d'Avignon, used a new type of reporting called
Festivus?
Fits divers, which were stories of everyday incidents in small villages. Similar, it's very like similar to true crime, like today's true crime.
Oh, I've heard about that. There's like, even back then, everyone was super
Mm-hmm.
fascinated with true crime and
Yep.
everything.
So his stories about the beast, it transformed the just like the local beast into
Mhm.
just nationwide, like every like a big national affair. Like
Okay.
yeah, just blew up the story to
Blue.
like go through all
Okay.
of France.
Interesting,
Mhm.
okay.
So this is one of the depictions of the beast
See, this
in
looks
the
like a pig.
newspaper. Yeah, this looks like a pig.
Yeah. We will post all these images on Instagram at Foolish Wonders Podcast if you guys would like to check them out.
And you should,
So, yes, please follow us and like our stuff on
because
Instagram.
who doesn't want to see a little man bear pig? That's from
We
South
keep
Park.
adding. Oh, is
Yeah.
it? Oh no.
So this is this is just a depiction of the beast. It was published in November of 1764, and in French it translates to a picture of the fierce and extraordinary beast that eats girls.
Oh, that's not terrifying at all.
No,
Could you imagine like opening up your newspaper or whatever and you just see that?
I don't want to see that at all. I'd be so scared. And remember, like they're in a little teeny little town.
Yeah, you don't have like lights or anything to
No,
really have like
they
candles
don't
and
have
everything, but you don't
internet.
have like yeah, you don't have a way to really call
And
for
yeah, a
help
lot of
or
these in 1764. I mean, I bet a lot of these people were not educated, and if they were educated, it was to
it's for their
it's
job.
for their job.
Yeah. Yeah, to basically to live
Hmm.
and to make a
So
living,
this would
yeah.
be extremely terrifying for
Oh
them.
yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, so in our next section, the hunt begins.
Okay.
Facing a terrifying and dangerous beast, the people of Gévaudan prepared a massive response. Jean Baptiste Dumas, see, I'm good with that stuff.
That one sounds right, yeah.
That's easy. He was the captain of of the local infantry at oh shit.
we just
No,
we just
I
like
made it
proofread
so far.
everything and like
I do, and then I'm like, that can't. I know that. You know when you
I know
proofread stuff
things.
in your head,
Yeah,
and
and
you're
you
like, I
yeah.
don't have any problem, and then you come
Uh,
to it when you're reading, you're like, oh, this is a problem.
Yep.
This is a hurdle. It's like if you were in track, or if you've ever like seen the hurdles that the hurdlers hurdle over in their race. You're like,
Yes.
well, that doesn't seem that hard, and then you try it and you fall and hurt yourself, or
Yeah.
you run up to it and you go, oh wait, and you stop
And
dead in your
you
tracks
fail.
and you fall down.
Yep.
All right, take two. Jean Baptiste Dumas, the captain of the local infantry at Athénée-Lafont, it's a regional government delegate. They were joined by 30,000 volunteers to hunt the beast down.
But I mean, like, in an almost 60-mile radius, that's still, like, maybe not enough people to find it, to comb through the
30,000?
woods. That's a lot of people, but to cover
Like 60
60
miles.
miles, that's a lot of area to try to find this thing.
True.
But,
Alright.
I mean, it's still a lot of people, though.
Alright, at the bottom of the page, we've got a picture, and it's an illustration of Jeanne Jouvet, whose attempt to save her child from the Beast of Gevaudan, and it made her a national hero, and this illustration is from 1839.
Oh, wait, did this actually happen, or is this just, like,
This
an image?
happened, but I'm sure that so you know how they have different images of the Last Supper, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it wasn't, this is just an illustration that someone drew up of.
Okay,
So, this happened
okay.
in the 1760s during the time of Beast
Mhm.
of Gevaudan, but this just illustration is just depicting what she did.
Okay, because this illustration makes it look a lot like a wolf, not like the pig
I
thing.
mean, they don't really know what it was, right?
Yeah,
Mhm.
true. Yep.
So there's I mean, if you Google Beast of Gevaudan, there's a lot
Mhm.
of different variations of it making it look more like a hyena or a lion or like the man bear pig or a wolf or,
Okay.
So,
Yeah, yep.
okay, so back to the hunt. So they
Okay.
scoured the countryside, laid traps with poisoned bait, and even
Oh.
had some volunteers dressed like women in hopes of attracting the Beast of Gevaudan.
But it attacked men too, right?
Yeah, I don't know why so they just put men in dresses and they
It
were like, "Yep, yep, 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 mhm,"
he's
like
walking
twirling
along collecting
carousels.
daisies.
Yeah, twirling carousels.
Wow. Great.
The
That's
men
beautiful.
anyway, people, I mean, if these guys if they're dressing up like women and trying to be like bait, they're
Yeah.
very highly motivated.
Okay.
Okay, so in addition to wanting to stop the beast, they also wanted the reward money, which was
Oh,
equal to a year's salary.
I mean,
Duh, yeah, I would
that's
be,
for
like,
back
dressing up
then?
yeah,
Yeah, yep.
I would dress up as, like, a ham, like in like, The Lion King where Timon and Pumbaa are, like,
Yep.
Pumbaa's, like, the little,
Give him
the barbecue pig with the apple in his
yep,
mouth, and, like, Timon's doing,
yep.
like, the hula dance. I would do that. I'd be like,
Out there in a little hula skirt and
yeah,
dancing.
with a
Yep.
pig. Yep.
Mhm. Mhm.
Okay, but although the group of hunters stumbled upon the beast, they failed to shoot it. They reported that the beast was too cunning and too powerful to be subdued. Quote,
Wait, wasn't there 30,000 of them
yeah.
and they failed to
Well,
shoot
I don't think that 30,000, like, all at once,
it?
Katrina, like, cornered
Okay.
the thing and it was
Like,
just, like, beast
well,
mode
no,
and was
but,
like,
like
"Ah."
yeah, but okay, carry on.
Mhm. Well, hunters who are in pursuit have neither been able to stop it because it is more agile than they are. That's what a local
Okay.
French paper wrote at the end of 1764. Quote, nor lure it into their traps because it surpasses them in cunning, nor engage in combat when it presents itself to them, because its terrifying appearance weakens their courage, disturbs their vision, sets their hands shaking, and neutralizes their skill. End quote.
So, like, part of me is thinking either they never saw the thing or and they just, like, made this up to make it sound like they saw it, and they're
Mhm.
just like, "Oh, we just can't catch it." Or it's, like, a human hiding out in the woods dressed up like a wolf,
Oh.
and they're just, like, obviously evading
Mhm.
everybody else. Okay.
Alright. So, Demal described the beast as having, quote, "a chest as wide as a horse, a body as long as a leopard's, and, quote, red fur with a black stripe." Another witness claimed that it could walk on its hind legs.
Ew, I hate that.
Mhm.
No.
Perhaps
No,
hoping
no,
to
no.
excuse the hunter's failure, the witness also said that the beast's skin could withstand and even repel bullets.
I don't think that. I think you're just a bad shot,
I think
but,
it is a
you
bad
know.
shot. You're shooting, like, stormtroopers up in there.
Yep, yep.
Even hunters who came from afar had no luck. A father-son team from Normandy, so Normandy is in the northern part of France,
Okay.
Normandy Beach from World War II.
Mhm.
That's,
Yep.
you know, the coast, the northern coast
Mhm.
of France, and we're in the
Mhm.
southern region of France.
So it's pretty far away.
So pretty far away. So the father-son team, they claim to have killed more than 1,000 wolves, and they came to Gévaudan to help, but even they couldn't manage to kill the beast.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay, so the people of Gévaudan fight back. Locals often had better luck fending off attacks. A group of children in January of 1765, led by 10-year-old Jacques Portefeuille, were said to have driven off the beast with sticks.
I
So
mean,
remember, so okay, remember how we were just talking about like these hunters, all that came down there, and they had guns, and they were like, "Oh, the beast, we couldn't get him.
yep,
He's so smart. Like we couldn't shoot him. Every time we shot him,
yep,
he like deflected bullets." And these freaking little 10-year-old kids are like beating the beast with sticks and scaring it away.
yeah. So either they're very bad at their jobs, or they never
I
saw
don't
it.
think they saw it. And a
I
young
don't think.
woman named Marie Jeanne Vallée, who we talked about, impaled
Yeah.
the beast of Gévaudan with a bayonet when it attacked her that summer.
How? Okay.
Mm.
How can one little girl like? I'm amazed that these little kids are able to do something that like 30,000 grown adults can't. That's unless it's like preying on the smaller like kids, like singled out kids. Because it historically it sounded like it attacked like one person at a time.
Mhm.
So I guess like if it's one kid, right, then you could like sneak up on it, and then she could like have a better chance of fighting it. But okay,
Yep, I think the statue in Gévaudan with the beast, I think that's her stabbing it.
okay,
Mhm.
yeah, that makes
Yep,
sense. Yeah,
but she didn't kill it.
okay, it deflected it.
It
Its fur
stabbed it,
deflected
yeah,
her bayonet.
the fur deflected the bayonet. Its tail, like, went like, swipe, swipe, and swiped the bayonet away.
Just like
Yep.
whoosh, inflicted away.
The
Yep.
problem got so bad that it began to attract the attention of the French king Louis the is that 14th? No, it's
Eh,
15th. Sorry, I missed. It's 15th.
yes, 50s. Yep.
XV, that's 15th. Conv
Mhm.
the French king Louis the 15th, convinced that the Beast of Gévaudan was too much for the locals to handle, he sent his personal bodyguard Francois Antoine. At first, Antoine seemed to be the right call. He and his men shot and killed a giant wolf, stuffed it, and collected their reward. But a few
Gross.
months
Okay.
later, the attack started up again.
Yeah, so I'm wondering if that's what this kind of
Like
is.
a
So
big
it's like
pack of
people,
them, yeah.
yeah, because if it's 60-mile rate, like 60-mile area, it's like wooded area, and they go through the throat, right? Like normal
Mhm,
predators. It sounds like a bunch of dire wolves to me.
I think you might be right.
So,
The Beast of Gévaudan's reign of terror didn't end until June 19th of 1767, when a local farmer, whom Antoine had earlier thrown in prison for leading him into a bog, what a nice guy, what a swell man,
oh, the
the
best.
best,
Yes.
shot and
Hmm.
killed another huge wolf.
So the guy you literally threw in jail is the one that stopped everything. Good call, Antoine.
Perhaps, yeah.
Perhaps. Oh, okay.
When the okay, this gets kind of nasty, people. When the
Oh.
villagers cut the wolf open, they found human remains inside.
Oh no!
Thus, the beast of
Ew.
Gévaudan seemed to have been killed at last. The attack stopped, but the mystery surrounding this odd story still endures to this day.
That's really nasty.
Mm-hmm. It's
Okay.
gross. Okay, so this is a description of the beast, just to get before we
Okay.
get into like theories of what it could be, just to rehash it. So the beast
Okay.
was consistently described by eyewitnesses as something other than a typical wolf. It was
Okay.
as large as a calf or sometimes a horse.
Okay.
Its coat was reddish gray with a long, strong, panther like tail. The head and legs were short haired and the color of a deer. It had a black stripe on its back and talons on its feet. Many drawings of the beast at the time endow it with wolf like characteristics.
Okay.
Mhm. Witnesses described the beast as an ambush hunter which
Hmm.
stalked its prey and seized it by the throat. The wounds found on the body were typically to the head and limbs, with the remains of 16 victims reportedly decapitated.
Ew. Okay, that's
The
gross.
creature prowled in the evenings and in the mornings.
Yeah, that makes sense. Since it's like dusky, like harder to see.
hmm
Yeah. Okay.
So these are the beast theories of what it could
Okay.
be. To this day, no one is entirely sure what terrorized the people of Gévaudan in the 1760s, but several theories have emerged. A striped hyena. Most people in France would have never seen animals like that, like this, so they would appear like mythical beasts, like creepy
They're
beasts.
terrifying. If you look at them,
They are
I hate
creepy.
hyenas. They're gross.
It is possible that a striped hyena may have been in a person's private holding, like their own like zoo, private zoo or something at their house,
Okay.
and then escaped. And since it was not native to France, it would have appeared very unusual. And but however, striped hyenas are not known to attack humans,
So I
but
did see it. I think it was on Animal Planet. I was watching like Eaten Alive, which is I watched once and got terrified.
mhm.
So like the one episode I watched, this lady, she was sleeping in somewhere in Africa, and they had just like an open campsite, like they just slept on cots under the stars, and she woke up to a hyena eating her legs.
Well, there we go.
So,
Maybe it eats.
so I don't know.
It probably does. So maybe it does eat them.
I'm sure if it's hungry enough, it'll eat anything, but
Hmm.
I wouldn't. Yeah, but it makes sense because if you haven't seen a creature like that, their jaws are like
Very
very
powerful.
powerful. They have a lot of
Because
teeth.
they can't hyenas snap skulls and like bones like their
I
jaw?
bet
Is
they
that their
can.
jaw has that much
I
force?
think
It can
so.
snap
I
it?
think so. Yeah.
Okay. I bet it could be a hyena
Hmm.
if like it got rabid or it's just hungry enough
But
or
like, who back then would have enough money besides like kings and like maybe
there
lords
was
and
yeah, there was like lords, right?
yeah,
Yeah, dukes and whatever. Yeah.
maybe they would have enough money to have one. But otherwise, it's how would you have enough money to?
It just would be weird to me that like villagers wouldn't know that like some rich person in the area, extremely rich, had a weird exotic zoo or
Yeah,
exotic animals or pets.
yeah,
That would be weird to me because who else is working and taking care of that rich person's house?
true. Yeah,
It would be villagers. Yeah.
unless it was
I don't
like
know.
the town like 60 miles away. Maybe I guess maybe I think word would spread that they would have something, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I would think that too. I don't know.
interesting. Okay,
So the next theory is a prehistoric beast, so like a bear dog or a dire wolf, the hyandon. Is that
hyedon,
how you say it?
hyedon.
Hyadon? The hyadon. It's kind of it. So I have an image of it in on this slide. It sort of looks like the Beast of Gevaudan, like how they were drawing it.
It looks like yeah, like the snout, the muzzle of it, like all the teeth. It
And it has
does.
that long tail that they've been
Hmm.
drawing.
It reminds me of like a Tasmanian tiger too.
Looks exactly like that, sort of. So the idea that such a large, old animal would evade detection for thousands to millions of years is just too crazy. So
When did they live? Hold on, I'm curious. Oh, so
it's the O it makes yeah it's yeah.
became extinct. So it did live in Europe. It did live in Europe.
Hmm.
So okay, so they lived until about 25 million years ago, near the end of the Holocene
Yeah.
epoch. Yeah, so it's been probably dead for a long time.
No way that it could be
So
that.
yeah, unless there's like a random small tribe, because there has been. So I listen to like a lot of paranormal podcasts or like cryptid podcasts, and a lot of people have like been saying that they see like pterodactyl like creatures. So I mean, it is very vaguely possible that maybe like a couple of them survived somehow.
Mhm.
Very almost near impossible, but it could be possible because it looks almost exactly like what they were seeing. So
Yep, it does. Very yeah, very eerily the same, but
yeah.
I mean, this they did say that the area was sort of mystical.
Hmm.
Jevaudan was mystical,
Yeah.
mysterious.
So something could be like just hiding out there or something.
Ick, ick,
Yeah.
ick.
Yeah.
All right, this next theory I thought was very. I like this one the most. Probably, I thought this one was the most. I guess realistic.
Okay.
I don't know. I thought it was
Okay.
interesting. A lion.
I mean, yeah, it sounds like a lion. Yeah, the reddish color and then like the size of it sounds like a lion.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So, the biologist and author of the Gévaudan tragedy, the disastrous campaign of the deported beast,
Oh my.
that's the name of the
That's
book.
the title.
They argue that the beast may have been an immature male lion.
Okay.
So, like a hyena, it is possible that the lion escaped from captivity.
Okay.
The beast reportedly was an ambush hunter that seized prey by the neck and could possibly decapitate a victim.
Hmm.
A lion can they exhibit these predatory behaviors.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Mhm. Lions have been known to prey upon humans as food sources, such as the famous case of the lions of Savo, in which a lion pair killed over 130 victims in under a year.
Ooh, yeah, that sounds maybe like what it was.
Eerily the same. Another supporting fact is that the territory of the beast was it was like 56 by 50 miles. That aligns with a lion's typical range for their hunting
Okay.
grounds.
Yeah. Yeah, that matches. Yeah.
Hmm. Eyewitnesses in France at the time were likely not familiar with living lions. What they did know about them came from very stylized imagery.
Yeah. Yeah.
So a subadult male may not have been fully developed. It may not have had like a fully developed mane.
Mhm.
and sometimes they have like a mohawk
Okay.
with like a type of stripe running down its back instead.
Okay.
So this matches descriptions of the beasts by eyewitnesses.
Mhm.
One hunter at a time, Captain Baptiste Dumas, who we talked about,
Mhm.
he wrote, quote, "You will undoubtedly think like I do that this is a monster hybrid, the father of which is a lion. What its mother was remains to be seen."
I can see that, right? Like if maybe like I guess I don't know what could possibly cross with, but if it's kind of like a lion, kind of like a hyena, maybe someone had both those animals like in a private zoo or something, and then they got out. I don't know.
Maybe they both escaped. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
But I thought the lion one was very
it
interesting
matches very like scarily similar. So
because I think that a rich person would rather have a lion than a hyena.
yeah, yeah, it's a little bit more regal.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's interesting too that it didn't really go after like the livestock or anything, just humans, which is weird.
Yeah, which is weird. Unless it did go after livestock, but
It
they
could
just
have
don't really
been.
report on it. It's just more interesting to have it as a,
Oh, kill all these people. Yeah,
a killer of the humans.
yeah,
Yep.
it's more dramatic. Yeah.
So, all right, this next one is
Uh
scary,
oh.
but I think
Okay.
I kind of like this one to be like a movie, like it's like a creepy
Okay.
horror movie.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
The next possible beast, man.
See, I was like,
Is it?
I didn't want it to be this one because that's terrifying, but it does make
It's creepy.
sense. Yeah.
All right, is it possible that a serial killer terrorized Gevaudan? Could a human have stalked through the region searching for unaccompanied young children or women?
Ah.
Many of the beast's victims were reported to be decapitated. Something few animals could do. While it's unlikely that a killer would roam about for victims in broad daylight, but it did say that it would do it like it in the morning.
Yeah, like when it's like slightly dark out.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yep.
Wearing but they'd have to wear, like, a beast costume, like, they'd have to
Yeah.
wear fur and stuff. Those who support this theory believe that the human killer used an animal to carry out its crimes. So I've read, like, a war dog or, like, a hunting dog, like a beast dog where they put,
Oh.
like, metal like, the spike collars.
Uh-huh.
If you've ever seen, like, sheep herding, they'll have big, like, Irish like, big, huge hounds that
Okay.
they put these anti-wolf collars
Okay.
around, so
Yeah.
they're spikes.
Yeah. Yep.
Mhm, so something like that, and then the person had the wolf, like, or not the wolf, sorry, the dog, like, sick the person, and then they
Oh.
would kill them themselves.
I mean, it makes sense, but that's terrifying and sad at the same time. But that would
Mhm,
explain though, like why it could evade everything. That if 30,000 people supposedly went to look for this thing, then it just a person would just blend right in, right? Like you
yep,
wouldn't think about it.
exactly. Okay, this leads us to one of our last, possible beasts,
Mhm.
which is the most agreed upon of what it was, wolf,
Okay.
or a Eurasian wolf, or more likely, the beast of Jevaudan was a particularly aggressive pack of wolves.
Yeah, I can see that.
The animals are native to the region, and there are thousands of wolf attacks in France on record between the 17th and 19th centuries. And these pack of wolves could have been rabid, so more aggressive, and
Yeah. I mean,
it could have had like mange and stuff like that, making them look even scarier.
yo,
I mean, that's what the agreed upon of what the beast what really was a pack of wolves.
okay. Yeah, I can see like wolves, dire wolves, or like lion. Lion makes a lot of sense. Like if someone had it there, like it's still
Hmm.
kind of out there, especially for like if all these people died in one spot instead of just like in a 60-mile radius.
Yeah.
But I guess those are my top three. Would be wolf, ish, dire wolf, lion. I think lion's my first, then wolf, and then human, which is really sad. But yeah,
There's a lot of horrible things that have
I
happened
know,
for with serial
I know.
killers.
Yeah, yeah.
The last one I put, but it's just
Werewolf.
werewolf. Could have been a werewolf because that one guy said that it walked on its hind
Yeah, I
legs,
forgot about
so
that. Ew.
it could have been a werewolf.
Ew. Yeah,
I
mystical
think.
area.
Mhm. Could be. Yep.
Ew. Or it's a not
Ew, that's
deer.
right.
It's
It's
just
just a knot deer. The knot deer's just slicing and dicing throat and doing throat rips.
yes, it's a
Oh
not deer.
gosh. Okay. Some sources that I used. If any of our listeners want to go on them and do some more research or just read more in depth about the Beast of Javadan, because it is very
Yeah,
interesting.
I agree, yeah.
Creepy. You don't know what it is. So I use historychannel.com. They have a good article.
I love
Allthatinteresting.com.
that website.
Yep, Katrina's one of Katrina's favorite websites, and Smithsonian Magazine. There's also a bunch of different books.
Mhm.
Monsters of the Gevaudan, The Making of the Beast by J.M. Smith. And then there's also if you are in France, if you're a listener and you live in France, we are very sorry for butchering your beautiful
Oh, I'm
language,
sorry.
but there is a museum for the Beast of Gevaudan. It's like 22 different like dioramas,
Oh,
like
okay.
scenes with big like human puppets and like wax figures and stuff, and it like does the story of the Beast of Gevaudan in each of these different
Oh,
rooms.
that's kind of cool. I want to go see that.
Mm-hmm.
I bet it'd be kind of sad and creepy, but cool to look at.
Yeah, it'd be cool to look at the parts of
It's just this.
people. Yep,
Oh,
yep.
yeah, that's
So
true.
happy.
Oh,
That'd be fun to do like on Halloween
that'd be cool, like a haunted
to be
house.
creepy. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, but that's all I got. But that was the Beast of Gevaudan. That was the tale.
Thank you, Kendra. That is interesting. It's something I haven't heard about. It's kind of, I guess, kind of like a cryptid kind of. Oh, I did find some of the images of the museum on atlasobscura.com.
Oh yeah. I think that's how I found out about this whole
Oh,
thing.
did
The whole
you?
Beast of Gevaudan is Atlas Obscura because like how you like that all that interesting.com. Atlas
Mm.
Obscura is my little website that I like to go on.
Yeah, they have a lot of
I
really
was like,
awesome
"What
stuff
is
too.
this?" I was like, "What the heck?" I'm like, "This looks weird." Googled and I read the story. I was like, "This is awesome."
Yeah. It's like it's one of those ones where you can like kind of let your mind wander. Like, is it like a mystical forest with like a time loop where you have like these, million-year-old animal wolf things, or is it just like a modern day lion or human doing horrible things? It's
Which
kind
is
of
even
it
scarier.
is in a way, yeah. Yeah, I always like when there's the possibility of like a human doing these things.
It makes it scary to
It's
me. I don't know
scary.
why.
Yeah, this museum, it looks like it's just like all carved out of wood, which is interesting too. Huh. Cool. Well, thank you, Kendra, for bringing us this. I was gonna say wonderful story, but
It's
it's
just
sad.
it's a scary
It's
story,
scary,
I
yeah,
guess.
yeah. Thank you so much, Wanderers, for listening to another Foolish Wanderers podcast. We hope that you learned something and maybe got a little spooked. If you'd like to learn more about this story, we'll leave some links to the websites down below. And if you'd like to check out all the companion images for this episode, check out our Instagram at Foolish Wanderers Podcast.
And as always, new episodes of the FWP is out every single Wednesday from wherever you get your podcasts. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and make sure you hit the notifications button for when new episodes drop.
Yes, yes, yes. All right. Thank you so much for listening, Wanderers, and we'll see you guys next time.